So since entering the workforce compared to now, what do you think has been like the biggest shift in like your mindset about actually working?
Maybe start off.
Yeah.
So I did my master's and I didn't finish it because I thought I liked to be in a lab. But it was very different to be in a lab compared to my final year of my bachelor's and being in a research group and be organizing and doing everything by yourself. Because I realized I really like to socialize with people more than I think. But obviously I have my ups and downs. And then I also realized that I still find more joy to teach. And so that's when I dropped my master's and I decided to teach. And ever since then, I have no regrets and I loved it. Like, it was a big step for me because it was very different.
Yeah.
And I think it was daunting because, like growing up, like most of I'll even say like my high school friends, like if they study law, they just be a lawyer. If they study med, they'll be a doctor.
Very specific career paths.
Whoa.
Poetic.
Sounds just like all the Asian parents.
Yeah, and like now, like we're much older. Like I feel like everyone's just on different paths.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you move to different jobs, you marry at different times.
Yeah.
Like some high school parents already have kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't have kids now. But back when I was like 20, I thought I have kids at 24.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Colin, did you hear that?
He has ignored it successfully.
Yeah.
Shaking his head.
Yeah, I think the biggest shift for me was like my mindset, like my mindset of everything. Like thinking about like, you know, my job, what to expect after uni, what makes me the most happy, and when to get married and all that.
Would you say it was a big shock going from uni and then like entering the workforce, or like, you know, like actually taking the first step in life where you're not forced into an environment where like there's people around you and you only have one goal to pass, to be graduate or whatever? Was it a big shock for you?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. It was because I feel like at that time I made that decision. Also, my professor, shout out to him, he made me watch a video, which made me question as well for a second. But now I was like, nah, like I'd rather teach every day. I'd rather be, doing what I'm best at, I would even say. Yeah.
I think something that changes is sustainability. Like you come into the workforce and you're like, oh, you know, I'll work hard. I'll get that promotion. I'll get that extra money. I'll try to, you know, move up the ranks and all that stuff. You do for like a while, a little bit. And then you realize that it's just an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
And like, even if you get to that, through that promotion, you get to that, you will have to perform at, you know, at a higher level. And, you know, you learn that you're going to have to balance other things in your life. It's not like a semester, it doesn't end. It's not like the goal. There's always going to be work that you need to do. There's always going to be goals, the projects you're going to have to finish. It's never ending. So it's not something you just get to and you just finish. It's not like you get to the exam, you do it, you get a grade and you're done.
Yeah.
Right? Like and then so you're like, damn, okay. So maybe this pace is not sustainable.
Yeah.
So then you also decide like, okay, is this also the type of work I want to do, or like the environment I want to be in, or the people I want to work with?
So many variables that creep up on you as you work longer.
It starts to shift. Like, it's not about money. It's not about like whatever. It's more about, do I actually want to spend my time doing this? Or like, you know, or will I regret this in the future or whatever? Right. So I think that definitely changed for me.
For me, I think like when my dad used to be part of like this org, and he'd be there for like 10, 20 years or whatever. So in my mindset, it was like, when you have a career, like that's it, like that's your job for life. I thought it was pretty nice to an extent, because now you have this idea of like you do your best for your company and the company takes care of you.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be what I would be doing. I thought I would be content being in one organization for my entire career. I can say right now I've moved like 3 times or 4 times now. 3 times. And the reasons why I've moved every single time wasn't because like I didn't get promoted, or wasn't because like I didn't like the people. I think every organization that I've been a part of, I really like the people. People have been great. The work was like, the pay was good at the time. You know, I came in as a grad, like it covered rent, covered like a lot of bills. I wanted to get promoted. I aimed for like year-on-year promotion. I worked hard and I achieved it. And you're like exactly what you said, right? Like you realize that the promotion will come if you work for it. But then you once you get it, you're like, do I just do this again?
Yeah.
Mm.
What's
Like,
next?
Yeah, what's next? Like, do I keep going? Do I go management? Do I stay as an IC? Like, what do I do? I think for me, I started to realize that, oh, maybe I can't stay in an organization for 20 years
Mm.
because I don't think I can sustain like I don't think I want to just do the same thing over and over again.
Mm.
Or I don't want to do whatever this organization is doing over and over again. And I started to learn that I'm the type of person that likes a challenge. I like being able to look at a tool and learn everything about the tool. And then once I feel like I'm good enough at it, or I'm comfortable enough at it, then maybe that's a time for me to start evaluating, hey, should I still be here because I'm comfortable with the tool, or should I take some stuff that I've learned and move on to another organization and find a new challenge? Maybe it's the same role, but it's just a different tool set or a different set of problems or a different industry that I'll be working with.
Mm.
And that's what I've done for every single move that I've made. And it just so happened that every move, it also coincides with a bit of a pay rise and a bit of promotion and things like that. But it's always been, for me, the move has always been just finding something that I'm passionate about or something that I want to learn about.
Something more challenging.
Something a bit more challenging, right? I feel that I don't know what I'm good at. So I didn't go down the path of like doing what I'm best at. But I always like a challenge. So I always like to think that I want to do something that I'm not great at, but I want to be great at it.
Mm.
And once I get to a point where I feel very comfortable with it, that's when I know, okay, maybe I should stop here and think, what should I do next?
Mm.
What other skills do I want to learn? Or what other tools do I want to learn? Or what other challenges do I want to have for myself?
Mm.
So that's what I've learned. And I look back and I ask my dad sometimes, I'm like, how did you do it? You know, how did you stay in a company for 10 years doing almost the same thing? I think you can find differences in different roles here and there.
Yeah.
The risk you do when you move organization is that you have a reset. You reset the networks, you reset all your knowledge about everything. Some people like that, some people don't.
Yeah.
My dad didn't like that, but I did.
You got to build reputation again, rapport again,
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah.
But I like a clean slate
Yes.
because it's like it's a new challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I keep repeating this over and over again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Would you guys identify as millennials?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard
I have
That-
no idea.
Fatigue's like,
I have no idea.
Critique's the most Gen Z you
heard
ever meet.
that
yes.
millennials
Yep.
like change careers or move jobs at least 7 times in their lifetime. So we're doing pretty well.
Oh, I'm halfway there, yo.
Wait, at least 7 times.
At least 7 times.
Oh yeah, we're nearly there.
Yeah, halfway, yeah.
Kind
Pretty
of there
much.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our life's about to end.
It's not the end of the world.
I find it so hard because I don't think we're necessarily like millennials. We're like sort of on the cusp of being.
It's whatever Wikipedia says. That's what
yeah.
I
That's
would
pretty
say
much-
I'm a millennial.
it changes too.
Identify as one.
I like to identify as a millennial, but there are things that like the Gen Z generation is really well known for, right? They're really known for being able to speak up about things they're uncomfortable about or things that they don't want to do. They may not. They are known for not having the best work ethic, I've heard. But I think that people sometimes confuse that with judging. Like they confuse work ethic with like their habits of the past compared to the work outputs they do. I feel that Gen Zs they can still do the same quality of work, they just do it differently. Right? They love remote working. They love being able to work in places where they are comfortable in. Whereas in the past, we would go into the office, and that's how we enjoyed operating. I enjoy operating out of the office personally, but I also enjoy working from home because I like being able to do my laundry while I'm like running some sort of things in the
Yeah.
background, right?
Mm.
Like, doing
How do
stuff for-
you guys keep productive? Like when you're working at home?
You don't.
Coffee?
Lots of coffee. No, just joking.
Actually, yeah.
Any like
And then I crash.
tricks and tips for the viewers and listeners to stay productive? Because
Deadlines.
Oh yeah,
I think
deadlines work for me.
Yes.
Deadlines help. I think helps you zone in, and or like setting meetings really helps. Setting meetings to like give like report on what you'll be doing or whatever update really helps, because you're like, if you haven't done stuff, you're like, oh goddamn, I need to prepare for this meeting. So do it all. But I think even now I'm still finding out or learning how I work best. But I think there's gonna be a point where you're gonna be procrastinating, right? Or you feel like you don't feel like doing something. But I feel that like if you realize that that's that point, if you just say, okay, I'm just gonna sit down and it's gonna suck, and I think it's to do with dopamine, whatever, but it's gonna suck, and there's like this resistance, but you're just gonna have to get past that resistance, which is gonna be like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then you can get up if you want, but you won't want to, because you're focused on that one task. So yeah,
I
so
get what you
removing
mean.
distractions and getting past that like peak of resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that I find that helps.
yeah, that definitely works for me
Yeah.
as well.
time box everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I use
One
like
of
Google
those-
Calendar.
One of the CEOs.
No, I just like it. Like, I think it's prioritized. So what I do is like every Friday or every Monday morning, Friday evenings, so like Monday mornings, I would plan my week, plan my schedule for the week. So my role is customer facing, so I plan around all the customer facing meetings that I have. I will set 1 hour prep time for any customer meetings I might have. Then I'll time box like half an hour for one-on-one meetings. I'll do half an hour. I'll make sure that's already scheduled into the calendars. So whatever that I have time box, that's my focus time, and whatever that I have that isn't within that if it's a blank space in my calendar, that's a time for me to do whatever I want. Whether that's to study for a cert, whether that's to do laundry, whether that's to like go for a walk or go to the gym.
Yeah.
That's what I use it for. That's when I'm working from home.
I wish I was like that.
It just helps me. Like I've learned.
I mean, I'll schedule it. Will I do it? Who knows? I know it. Like this time to this time is meant to be work. Am I doing it, or will I be doing it?
I'll tell you why I do it though. So when Angie and I start dating, and like when we start going to professional lives, what I've realized is that if I don't time box it, my work hours extends beyond like your 9 to 5 or your 9 to 6.
Oh yeah, mine definitely do.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So what I've learned is that like, but my partner doesn't enjoy when I work past 6 o'clock because she wants to spend time together.
That's why you stay single.
Yeah, that's why I predict single guys. Yeah. In case you wanna reach out for his Instagram, please do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding.
I'll put it here.
Single and ready to mingle.
But what I've learned is that I've got to find a balance, because otherwise work overtakes life.
Yeah.
So time boxing it, make sure that I complete work within the designated hours that I am actually paid for, so that hours that I'm not paid for, or I'm not, the company's not going to pay me for, I do
Yeah.
it for things that's for myself. Whether it's the gym, whether it's hanging out with Angie, whether it's like watching a TV show, doing live work or whatever. Now, if I have some sort of live admin in the middle of the day, I try to make sure that I pay it back to the organization. So I book like, let's say 1 to 2, I'm going to the gym, because I can't go in the evening. Then let's say like 8 to 9, I'll give it back to the company. I'll do something related to work that way. So what time boxing allows me to do is that my schedule becomes a bit more modular. So I can move things around as I need to.
Yeah.
But it also keeps me very focused, so that I don't work more than I necessarily need to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't conflict with relationships, with life, with anything else.
How do you deal with stuff that, like, if you've scheduled it, then how do you know that that is
Enough time.
enough time, or like that you haven't overscheduled yourself?
Yeah, if I overschedule it, it's a bonus for me, because it means I get time back for myself to do whatever else I want to do. But if I don't, so if I book for an hour, but I finish the work within half an hour.
Overschedule it means that you put too much in for too little
Underestimating the
time.
Oh, too
As in,
little
like,
time.
yeah, like let's say you're solving a
Mm.
problem, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You're trying to solve this problem,
Mm.
but you can't solve it in this time.
yeah,
And you obviously, you're not going to know if it's because of today, if it's because your brain's not working, if you're going to be able to solve it or whatever.
yeah.
How do you deal with that?
So I think that comes with experience.
Right.
For example, like if you are very experienced, like writing code in a particular language and solving a problem similar to that before, you roughly gauge how much effort's needed for it, right? But if I get it wrong and I need more time, that's when I evaluate, okay, do I have time for the rest of the day to invest into this?
Mhm.
Do I have the right mental capacity to solve this problem today? Or is this a problem worth solving another day, like the next day?
Mhm.
Because for me, personally, if I invest 2 to 3 hours in my calendar to solve this problem and I can't solve it within 2 to 3 hours,
Wasted.
I don't think I can spend time solving it for the rest of the day because I don't think that I don't think I'm in the right mental state to solve that particular problem.
Mhm.
But what I can do is that I can have a bit of a refresh. Let me try to do another piece of work
Mm.
so that takes my mind off the problem, and then I'll come back to it the next day with fresh eyes or fresh mental state,
Mm.
and I can see things from a different perspective.
Mm.
Now, if things are urgent and I really have like no other time, that's when I know that, hey, okay, I schedule it so that if I can't solve it within 2 hours, I bring someone else in for the third hour.
Mm.
Yeah, that's when I know when to ask for help.
Mm. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that definitely takes discipline.
Yeah.
So I just become hyper focused on that problem. I'm like, I'm solving this.
Everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know I can't solve it, and I hate wasting time trying to solve it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
I hate leaving it. I hate leaving it unsolved or unfinished.
I think it's an uncomfortable thing because I was like that at first.
Yeah.
Then I've learned like, man, I'm spending extra 3 hours solving this problem when like I can just take a break, spend the 3 hours on something else, try it for 2 hours tomorrow and solve it in one
Mm.
because it's like a different state of mind.
Yeah.
Mm.
And if I get too hyper focused, I think that's when I just know like 3 hours, cut off, bring someone else in to help me out.
Mm. That's true.
Because for me, like time is valuable. I don't want to spend more time than I necessarily have to because I'd rather spend it with my partner, with like life admin, or like with other stuff. Yeah. I think finding that balance is very important because if you don't find that balance, it consumes you. And what that means is you're setting a bad foundation for when you're in your 30s or your 40s. And if you have a family,
Mm.
you're going to struggle, in my opinion. I think my dad did it really well. He was able to find that balance. I think it's so important because I have a really great relationship with him and my family, my parents. And I think that if he was more focused on work, the relationship's tougher that way.
Mm.
Right. So I think for me, what I want to do is make sure I set the right foundations now. So that in the future I wouldn't suffer.
True.
Not necessarily mean like I like I've been very successful. Sometimes I'd work a lot more than I should. But I think NG keeps me honest about it. So find yourself a partner. That will help. 100%.
Try
But
and put down all the work.
but when you're single, it's different, right? When you're single,
Yeah, you
'cause,
can go
like,
overtime and stuff.
go overtime,
I mean,
and it's
obviously,
good,
it goes into your hobby time and stuff as well,
Yeah.
and that's what I mentioned before, sustainability and stuff. Right? It was like I can probably solve that problem, and but then you start to think it's like, how much am I putting into this,
Yeah.
and like what am I giving up to like solve this problem?
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't, I mean, obviously there's still time planning and breaking the problem down and all the structuring everything. But I think it's because that's when like it goes over hours. 9 to 6, it's going to be like 9 to 9. Easy.
Yeah.
Or like, or even more. And then there's burnout. There's all those things that creep up on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it as like you're 24 hours in a day. You try to keep like 8 hours for sleep. So now you have 16 hours in a day. So if you time box it like every hour, how do you maximize your time? And how do you balance life and work?
That's very interesting. Like, it wouldn't work for me also because my hours are very different every day. And for me, I feel like one thing I've learned to live with as well was that my to-do list is endless. And it stresses me out. So what I
Same.
like to do
Same.
every single day, or almost every single day, is I'll rewrite my to-do list. And I'll reprioritize it according to what needs to be done.
Mm.
And obviously with deadlines too. But I'll prioritize like what I can actually get done as well. And that will help me at least not forget the things I need to do.